Okay.
These officers are called to the scene after 26-year-old Elias Otero was brutally shot in front of his brother, but the terror has just begun.
Where's the shot at, guys?
Come on! Stay with me!
What initially appears to be a straightforward shooting soon becomes far more complicated, with a series of new connections and conflicting accounts. But what twisted it even further when a father unveils a chilling secret about his own teenage daughter that no one ever expected.
Robbed somebody, shot somebody, and killed them.
He said the only way that they wouldn't hurt me was if I set two people up for them, so they had me too. And then he was like, if you snitch on that, it'll be done for you, like you'll never see it.
On February 11th, 2021, at 2:19 a.m., a woman's voice cuts through the 911 lines in southwest Albuquerque, urgent and trembling, pleading for help because her brother has been shot. As the officers arrive, the scene turns increasingly terrifying that deepen the horrors surrounding the shooting.
Hey, is there anybody there with the gun, or is it just him being hurt?
They had a gun the whole way over here.
All right.
Dying right now, man. On the floor.
Okay, cool. Okay. Is he not breathing at all?
They're in the floor.
Let's go. Do me a favor. Let's secure this. Let's try and ID him. I'm gonna let the rest of you know it's good to go over here. Okay, watch that firearm. Okay, Timothy Court 20. We got a subject in the street. Family member doing CPR. Unconscious, not breathing. 27.
The scene is secured as officers initiate CPR on the unresponsive victim, turning the incident from a shooting into a desperate fight to save his life.
Where's the shot, guys?
Come on! Stay with me!
Stay awake.
Stay awake.
Guys, I need the medics to make sure that they're safe, right? That's why this is going down this way.
Stay awake.
Paramedics work frantically to keep him alive, pressing where he has been shot in a desperate attempt to save him. While CPR continues, the victim is identified as 26-year-old Elias Otero, and his condition is rapidly deteriorating from severe blood loss. But as officers take a closer look, they begin to realize something isn't adding up, a realization that quickly changes the direction of the entire investigation.
Prior to us arriving, there was another vehicle that stopped, and those are the subjects we have detained. So we're going to get their 49 and probably try and shortly affect their forward.
Yeah, so they were just trying to render aid.
Simple, they saw the truck crash, and they turned around to see, and they were calling it in when we went by six.
Officers doubted that multiple armed individuals were involved to carry out this deadly shooting, but their roles were still unclear to them. To gather more information, they moved swiftly to separate the witnesses, secure weapons on the scene, and lock down the entire block.
Three entry wounds. That's what I saw one in the chest, I saw one in the abdomen, and then one next to the abdomen. Actually, and then one in the wrist.
Okay.
Are those the only ones that you guys caught?
Yeah, well, I mean, they were doing CPR when we got here, so I was setting up, and then I pulled them off, and then I started putting jet seals, but they were everywhere.
As officers process the scene, they find multiple shell casings scattered across the ground, revealing just how many shots were fired. But to understand what led to this shooting, investigators turn their attention to the witnesses. Among them is Elias's brother, whose account provides the first real insight into what led up to the gunfire just moments ago.
Listen to me. Hey, where did it happen, bro? Hey, where did it happen, bro?
It was like a workout center. And they just roll up on me and they got me.
Where did the shooting happen? Was it here?
They told me to bring out him $1,000, and they told me to bring out a gun.
Okay.
And I told them to do it, what they told me to do, and I told them.
Oh my God!
He had guns at me! He had guns at me, Dad!
Oh my God!
Take a step back.
Oh no!
Tell him who it was!
We're gonna have to stop pushing people.
Tell him! Go tell him! We're out here?
As investigators reconstruct the timeline, questions begin to emerge about Nicholas's involvement, as it is clear that his role in the incident is more complicated than it first appears. It soon becomes clear that Nicholas is more than just a witness to the violence. He is also the victim. Meanwhile, investigators follow a trail of shell casings leading toward the front door, prompting a full search of the residence. As officers make their way inside, they're faced with the difficult task of delivering devastating news to the family. But that's not all. They'll soon witness something strange that causes them to take a closer look at the events surrounding the shooting.
So I want to give you guys a quick update and tell you kind of what's going to happen and what we need to do, okay?
Okay.
So right now, obviously, sorry for your loss. Is he your son?
Yes.
Okay, your son? Okay, sorry for your loss. You know, when we got here, I don't think there was much we could do for him. So what we're going to do is, right now, we want to find out who did this. Okay, that's our goal. We need to get all the evidence we can, and we have a big scene. We have guns, we have casings, we have all kinds of stuff everywhere. Okay, so what we want to do, we've got casings all the way to the front door. Okay. So we need to get everyone out of the house. Okay. I know you guys got family members probably in a car that you guys can wait where it's on. So if you guys want to grab a jacket, that's it, nothing else. And let's get you guys over there, and then we'll have detectives come and meet you guys here in a second, okay?
I'm gonna walk towards the truck.
Anyone else that help beside you too?
Officers escort Elias's parents away as the residence is secured. As investigators connect the carjacking and recovered weapons, attention turns to Nicholas, whose account may finally expose what truly unfolded during that terrifying night. As investigators speak with Nicholas, a new name emerges for the first time, a young woman who, at first glance, seems only loosely connected to the case. But as detectives dig deeper into the events leading up to the shooting, they begin to wonder whether her role is more significant than anyone initially realized.
So the only thing that we were talking about before you came in was that you were communicating on Snapchat? Okay.
So this is the address she first sent. Let me start from the beginning. So I stood up on one of her pictures. So I was texting her and I stood up on her picture because I thought she was pretty, you know what I mean? So I stood up and she was like, oh, I was hanging out, to be normal. And I've talked to her before, so it was nothing I didn't need to be scared or anything like that. So I didn't think I needed a gun or anything to protect me. I thought I was good. I'm not really a troubled kid. So I went over there and I met her before work. Before I was gonna go to work, it was I would say it was 2 o'clock because I was okay, I have 30 minutes to hang out there and then I have to leave. Yeah.
And is this where you went initially?
So, can I go through
What is her name?
To be honest, I couldn't tell you.
What did you call her?
Just simp stuff, like beautiful or something stupid.
And she never gave you the name?
She never gave me her name, but I have her phone number. She just had my Snapchat.
And her name on there, the shorty Xana that she was on about, right? So when you guys start talking, she never says hey, my name is so-and-so, or I go to this school, or do you know what I mean? Where do I work?
The crazy part is she knew not to say what she played it off so good, if she'd done it before, she manipulated me.
Nicholas hands over his phone as investigators review the messages in real time. He described it as a casual Snapchat exchange that led to a meetup, but one critical detail stood out. There was no name attached to the girl. As detectives pressed further, the silence around her missing identity became more revealing than anything he said.
Yeah, I'm blocked.
Profile?
She blocked me, deleted all her photos and all her conversations.
Okay, go ahead. So you meet her around 2 p.m.
So I pull up at 2 p.m. and she's like, wow, let's go to this park. And I was kind of already oh no, that's kind of sus, but me being young and stupid, I was like, oh, and she's pretty, I'll go.
So where do you initially meet her?
So I initially meeted her at the address she sent me. I don't know where she took me. She took me to some park, but
it was close to her.
It was close to her house.
Then it was
What begins as a casual conversation now feels ordinary enough. Nicholas recalls the young woman asking about his belongings, his money, and what he keeps inside his vehicle. At the time, he didn't think much of it, but as detectives work to reconstruct the events of that night, they begin to view those questions through a very different lens.
Around what time, if you look at your text messages, did you pick her up to go to that park?
She deleted all of them. I couldn't tell you that.
Your text messages between you and her?
Yeah, right here, because I was texting on Snap when I told her I was here, or did I tell her on message?
Now, when she sends you the address, how long after she sends you the address do you guys go to the park?
It was immediately, like she got in the car and she was like, this is the park.
So, can you pull up the address of the park? It's on your messages.
I don't think. Oh.
As the conversation continues, Nicholas notices the woman repeatedly checking her phone. He was getting the sense that she's communicating with someone, though he didn't think much of it at the time. But it's a detail investigators would later find noteworthy.
Yeah, so I started talking to her for like maybe 15, 20 minutes. And she was like bringing up like little things, like she was like, hey, your team there, like oh, that's where you put your money in, like just trying to figure stuff, like asking me a bunch of questions. And like I don't really open up, so I'm not really telling her nothing, but I told her some stuff I do. And as soon as I told her that, like I'd say about 3 minutes after, 3 emails come in my face, 47 to my face, Glock to my face.
Minutes later, the situation takes a sudden turn. According to Nicholas, 3 masked men appear and quickly surround him. Armed with rifles and handguns, they pull him from his vehicle and force him to the ground. As conflicting commands are shouted at him, he's left terrified that one wrong move could cost him his life.
And then the other guy pulled her out like if she's a victim of her getting robbed too. But while I'm getting thrown on the ground and they pull me out of the car, I'm listening. He's all put her in the car, and she just texted me. She said she ran away, but how was she running away if she was in the car behind me while they were bumping? They were bumping while he was driving. Because there was 3 at first, and I kind of looked, and there was only 3 males. And then I kind of looked back, and I saw a 4th, but she was in the passenger seat of the other car.
What kind of car was the other car?
All I know is it was silver, and I didn't really get a lot of look because he was pointing a gun right in my face like the whole time. There were 2 guns right in the back of my head and one to the face on my side. So he told me not to look at him or he'd shoot me, so I wasn't really worried too much about the car. I was worrying about him killing me. Much stuff for him.
There's 3 males, right?
As the robbery unfolds, Nicholas begins to notice something unsettling. The men seem to know exactly what they're looking for. They ask about specific valuables and even search for the firearm AR-15 he normally keeps in his vehicle. To Nicholas, it feels less like a random robbery and more like a setup. After forcing him into a vehicle at gunpoint, the men spend the drive threatening to kill him. And as Nicholas tries to figure out where they're taking him, one question becomes impossible to ignore. If they already have what they came for, what did they want with him?
All young, they were definitely like early 19, 20, 21 with the first occupant was a white male. The guy in the back with the AK-47 assault rifle to my head was definitely a black dude. Just like the tone and how his hands were, I could tell.
So.
And the other dude I couldn't tell because he was in the car. And he was the craziest one.
He was the craziest one.
Yeah, he was like, he was gonna shoot me. Like, he shot off the ground and then.
Where did you shoot off the ground?
At the grass field. It was like a grass field. All I could see, I was looking down and shot. And the only thing I could think about was me getting shot, so I didn't.
And what kind of gun did this guy have? Was it a handgun?
It was also a rifle too. They were definitely packing him.
Was it a micro Draco?
Yeah, it was a little Draco, like you could put it in your pants. Mm-hmm. It was a little one.
What did he look like?
They were wrapped up, they were mashed up. I could only see their eyes, but I couldn't tell you. I remember what they looked like, but
were they like COVID masked up, or were they?
They were
like robbery masked
up? Yeah, like robbery, like make sure they don't see their face, gloves on. They were prepared for it. They were definitely set it up.
Just hours earlier, Nicholas had been responding to a simple message. Now, he was sitting at the center of a deadly homicide investigation. The scene felt orchestrated rather than random, with precise attention to the weapons and setup, where the identities remained frustratingly elusive. Just before the situation escalated, investigators detected something subtle.
So I did smoke weed for that.
Okay,
And I'm not gonna lie, I did, but I smoked before I met up with her, and I smoked with another female.
And I was just asking because you said,
Yeah.
she said this is where you keep your cash.
Yeah,
What
she
did she
like,
mean by that?
she like, so it like, and before all this started, I noticed her phone was on a call, but she was like kind of hiding it, but kind of like, it was weird.
So she was actually calling somebody?
She was on the phone with somebody. It was weird, and I started noticing that, and I was like, I kind of like got weirded out, so I was like, I was ready to take her home. Like I was just like about to like leave. Like I put the top up and I was ready to go. Like
Yeah.
I was about to leave and they came out of nowhere and I couldn't do nothing.
Okay. So these three guys, they get you out. Who is the one that's telling you what to do?
The white officer, all of them, they're confused. They're confused on their own words. Like straight talking retarded. Like they were telling me to get on the floor, but don't get on the floor. Put my hands on the floor, but the other guy was telling me not to. And like I didn't want to tell them nothing. Like it was just like they were just so confused on what to tell me to do, and they were asking me where's my chain, which I kind of added it up because she's the only one that knows I have that chain on my neck, and it was under my sweater.
Investigators searched for any prior link explaining how the attackers knew what Nicholas carried. He admitted to past drug use, but denied deeper ties. His concealed valuables were identified instantly, shifting the focus from simple theft to something far more coordinated.
And then they ransacked my pocket, took my wallet. They took my wallet and put it in their pocket, and then I was just confused at the moment. I do have a debit card, but my debit card wasn't in there. So this is where it adds up again. She knew I had an AR-15, which I didn't bring it because I didn't feel like I needed it. And I put it in the trunk, and they were like, open up the trunk. I know there's a gun in there. There's a gun in there. And that's where it was like adding up again. I was like, oh, she set me up. She got me. And then the trunk wasn't opening because the top to the car wasn't fully on, but it was on, but it wasn't fully on. And he puts it under my head and he's like, open the trunk. So I get up and I'm explaining to him every move I made, my hand movement. I got in the car and I was like, I'm touching the button, I'm pulling it up. And I told them where the trunk pop was, and they popped it. They searched through my whole trunk. They searched through the whole car, under the seat, back of the seat. They went through my car. I was there for a good minute outside. And then after that, they told me to get in the car, and they told me to call somebody and tell them to give them $1,000 or they kill me. And me thinking, well, who am I gonna go to for $1,000? I'm trying to look around, I'm trying to get clues. I'm trying to look around, but I looked, and he's like, they're staring at me the whole time. And he said if I said I didn't shoot me in the leg, and he puts the projectile to my leg, and he says if I look at it one more time or I move or anything, he's gonna shoot me.
And there's only one other car, right?
Yeah, there's only one other car with 2 occupants in it, and then another 2 with me.
Okay.
And the back seat's very small, so he's back there cuddled up with a gun and just going crazy, just yelling at me. They're just yelling at me the whole time.
Investigators traced the encounter as it escalated from a search to full control. Nicholas's belongings were seized, and the attackers demanded access to the trunk, already seeming to know its contents, including a firearm he denied having. As the threats intensified to $1,000 or death, a brief interruption emerged that changed everything.
But I couldn't tell him that there was an occupant in the back. I couldn't be specific because he told me not to. So I said, they have 2 guns to my head, and my brother's like, okay. So we're waiting. He's all, call him again. So I'm calling my brother, but then my brother opens up the door, and my older brother that came out, and he comes out the house and they're both with their guns out, and I'm crying and I'm crying, brother, don't do it. And the guy's pointing the gun at me and he's screaming at me, "Mom, kill me. I'm going to shoot him." And I'm like, "Oh God, here I go." And I'm telling my brothers, I'm crying. I'm like, "Please don't do what you're about to do, because I know they're going to shoot." So he's telling me, "I'm going to kill him, I'm going to kill him, I'm going to kill him." And my oldest brother, he just pulls out his gun, and as soon as he pulls out his gun, that guy starts firing, and it's just a whole shootout. And I'm looking at the other guy, and he's shooting the Draco at my brother, and the other guy's shooting at him, and then the other guy in the other car in the front was shooting too, also at him. And my brother is shooting back, and then they take off, and I'm still in the car. Like, I was trying to get out. I was trying to budge the door open, but it was locked. I was so confused. I was like, "Oh my God," I'm trying to get out, and I unlock it, and we're coming around this corner right here, and we're coming, and he cocks his gun, but he's still shooting at the time, and he cocks it, and he gets like stuck, he gets jammed, and I'm listening to him, and I'm scared. I'm like, I'm gonna die. I'm done. And he cocks it, and it gets jammed, and that's what saved my whole life. And I open up the door and I jump out, and he just starts shooting at me.
So he was gonna shoot you, but it jammed.
Yeah, it jammed. I could hear it jammed.
Did he get hit with gunfire?
To be honest, I don't know, but it was so close. He had to. It was so close. It was like from here to here. Like, my brother was shooting. I'm looking at him shooting while he's shooting him. They were there for a split second just shooting. So one of them had to get shot. It had to be. If it didn't, it was a miracle.
And the white guy is the one that's driving.
Yeah, he's the one driving with the gun to my head.
And then which one is in the back seat? Is it the crazy guy or the black guy?
The crazy guy was in another car. I'd have probably been dead if he
So the
drove.
black guy was in the back of the car.
Yeah, he was the assault rifle.
So you jump out.
I jump out. They take off down the road. They're wrecking the car the whole time.
Within moments, several people arrive, and the situation erupts into gunfire. Trapped inside the vehicle, Nicholas can do little but watch as chaos unfolds around him. Elias is stuck during the exchange, and a brief weapon malfunction gives Nicholas the opportunity to escape. As investigators work to identify the young woman, Nicholas's account takes on sharper weight.
Do you know, does she have any, did she have like you can contact me on Facebook, you can contact me on Instagram?
No, she just had my Snapchat.
So when you guys start talking, she never says like, "Hey, my name is so-and-so," or "I go to this school," or do you know what I mean? "Where do I work?"
The crazy part is she knew not to say what she played it up so good. Like if she's done it before, she manipulated me.
Okay.
Because she directed, because I wanted to get to know her. I was like, so like, you know what I mean? Like, so what's up with you? Like, just trying to talk to her, like communicate with her, and she was like directing me and coming up with like, she's coming up with stupid words. She's coming up with like just trying to direct her attention on me.
Investigators secure a damning detail: the first suspect's name, Annabella. Nicholas's account traces back to a fleeting Snapchat exchange with no footprint beyond that platform. That disclosure shifts the inquiry's course, yet suspicion lingers. With much of the case now resting on his account, attention turns to Annabella, the crucial link who may be able to confirm whether he's telling the truth. While investigators trace Annabella's identity, a decisive lead emerges, linking the suspects to a series of violent robberies in the area, driving the inquiry closer to exposing who orchestrated the attack.
Our daughter, so Anna's my niece.
Okay.
Hangs out with my daughter. Mm-hmm. My other daughter doesn't really like her, so they don't hang out. The other day they were hanging out together for who knows what, and Anna was gloating, I guess, about that they robbed somebody, shot somebody, and killed him. I told my daughter, she's probably lying. She's a liar. She likes to lie. She likes to she's cool, whatever. So the next time they meet up, my daughter's like, "You're a liar. You need to stop lying."
Right.
She goes, "Really?" Pulls out the paper you guys some you guys gave her. Mm-hmm. She's like, "Look," and starts laughing about it. So my daughter says, "Oh, okay," and then she just threw it on the table. My daughter took it. I know it's bad. She took it. She brought it to us. We read it the other day. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "This is wrong." The next day, we're watching the morning news, and the mom comes on the TV. Mm-hmm. The guy's mom. My wife said, "We have to do something about this." I said, I agree. So I called 242 cops. Took them an hour to get a hold of me. They said that they can't do nothing to call another number.
Okay.
I left a message. Nobody's called me back.
Okay.
Last night, my daughter has an issue with her boyfriend. I pulled the officer aside and I told him.
According to the father of one of Annabella's close friends, what once sounded like exaggerated tales of robbery and murder turns chillingly real when his daughter is shown a document allegedly linked to Annabella. The incident raises new questions for investigators and adds to the growing concerns surrounding her involvement in the case.
She gets online, Twitter, what is the other one?
Snapchat
and Grindr, whatever. She gets on there, finds boys, dealers. That's why it's okay with her to do it. And then she meets them at a park, or they pick her up at her house. She meets them, they go to a park. She records what she's asking questions, to see what they have. She records it. The other people are listening. Once they know what they want, they come and rob her. Rob the kid, take his stuff.
He describes how Annabella uses social media to lure targets. The revelation adds a disturbing layer, deepening the shadows around what investigators already know.
The kid gloated about drugs, money, guns. So he told him he has money at his brother's house. So they put him in the car, they take him to the brother's house. At this point, the brother knows what's going on. He walks out with the gun. The one kid shoots him and kills him. They jump back in the car, they stick the kid back in the car. I call him a kid, I don't know how old he is.
Right.
They drive down, the kid jumps out. She says that she's following him in the back of the car, behind them. This whole time she's laughing about this.
Right.
The kid jumps out, rolls on the ground, whatever. Doesn't even know his brother's dead.
Right.
They pick him up, whatever. He says what happened. Names Anna by name.
The narrative traces a robbery that quickly erupts into gunfire, suggesting prior awareness and a targeted setup. Then, from the father's words, a new lead emerges, quietly shifting the investigation and hinting at the breakthrough detectives have been waiting for.
She went to Austin for 2 weeks. And then that boy, one of the boys, brought her back. So she's in town now, currently living with another friend of hers. I have the address where she's at now. To me, it's wrong because it could have been one of my kids.
Oh, yeah.
I want something to do about it because it's not right what they did. And they've done. It's not the first time. This isn't her first time doing this.
Right.
She also says, I'm a teenager and I'm doing anything. If I get arrested, I get 2 years in juvie and I'm done. I don't care.
The father delivers an address tied to Annabella, noting she briefly slips away to Austin before resuming her routine. Detectives act with urgency, cross-checking the tip against prior reports, setting the stage for the first decisive turning point in the case. In the investigation into Elias's murder, detectives uncover Annabella's role in a Snapchat robbery scheme, which leads them to Adrian Avila, identified as the shooter. But the pattern runs deeper than expected. Investigators found a chilling link that pulls them back to the Donnie Brandon homicide and a 2020 shooting at Sandia Vista Park, where new connections begin to surface. Witness statements and digital evidence link several of the same individuals across both cases. What once seemed unrelated now appears connected, bringing investigators one step closer to understanding what really happened to Elias. After an arrest warrant is issued, Adrian Avila turns himself in on December 26, 2021. With him in custody, investigators shift focus to Annabella. Tracing her through Snapchat activity and phone data, they locate her by January 2022. Taken in for questioning, she begins to reveal the hidden pressures behind the robbery scheme.
Detective with APD homicide. All right, so I am the detective that investigated the case. We call 480 Timothy, so it's a case in reference to a young man that was shot after a red Lexus and another vehicle were taken, and it's the one that you were charged on, okay?
So it all started, I don't know the exact date, I had went to a party with my ex-boyfriend, Damien Tapia, and he had a friend that goes by Lucky, and we were at a party, and it was a Mexican party, so I had stopped being friends with Adrian because I heard about the previous case that he's involved in.
Okay.
And so I ran into him, and it was him, this guy named Goonie, that his real name is John, and then a couple other people and his older brother. And Damien was wearing like jewelry, and he had the teeth that people have, the fake ones.
And who did? Adrian?
Damien.
Damien, okay.
And so then Adrian was like, he walked up behind me and he was like, thank you so much for bringing us him. And I was like, what do you mean? And then he was like, Josiah wants to hit a lick on him. And I was like, no, I told him that was my cousin. I was like, that's my cousin, you guys can't do that. And then he was like, we're gonna do it, like just shut up. And I was like, no. And so then I turned to Damien and I was like, hey, go get my purse from the car and look for my pen. And I didn't have the pen. And so then he's like, okay. So him and his friend started walking to the car, and then I started walking behind them. And then that's when Adrian ran behind us and he pulled a Draco out of his pants, and he started to like make sure that it was able to shoot, I think. And he gave Josiah a gun and he was like, we're gonna do it now. And I was like, stop. And I kept telling him stop. And then that's when he was like, how many guns do they have? And I was like, I don't know if they even have guns, just leave it alone. And then Adrian kept yelling at me, and then finally Damien got in his car, and then that's when Adrian was like, if I see you around Albuquerque, you're dead. You have 5 seconds to leave now. And so then I was like, why? Because I won't let you guys rob somebody, like you guys are gonna hurt him. And then he was like, we weren't even gonna do anything like that, like you should have just let us do it. And I just left with Damien.
Annabella recalls attending a party with her ex-boyfriend, Damien Topia, where Adrian and his associates attempted to rob him. She claims she intervened, halting the plan. Yet, as threats surface and weapons appear, the atmosphere shifts, with no longer casual, but ruled by fear.
Adrian was planning on going over there and shooting it up. And so then their friend Adam picked me up, and he said that he had to take Goonie his bag to him. And then Goonie went to grab the bag, and they seen that they didn't roll one of the windows down, which was where I was hiding. And so then Adam drove off, and he drove to the Sonic on Rio Grande Bridge, I think it was. And he told me to get in the trunk, so he put me in the trunk, and then he drove to Adrian to give them the rest of their stuff out of his car. And that's when Adrian was like, where's that stupid bitch? And then Adam was like, I don't know where she's at. And then Adrian started to follow Adam in the car, and I just felt like I was in the trunk, so I was freaking out, and I was texting Daddy asking her to let me out. And she kept telling me no because they were behind us. And then Adam crashed into somebody's fence, and then he got out to get the bumper, and that's when I heard Adrian. He was like, why are you running from us, brother? Is that dumb with you or something like that? And then Adam drove off and went to Danny's house. And then that's when they kept making threats to me, saying that they were going to hurt my family or they were going to hurt me if I didn't set somebody up for them. And so then
According to her account, she's threatened into helping lure 2 robbery targets. Directed to the first target, Richie, she follows instructions under pressure and then leaves the scene. Later, she claims Adrian demands another target, a statement investigators believe may connect directly to the events leading up to Elias's death.
that's when he told me to do something. He said that he knows that Nick was a plug, and Nick was texting me at the time. And so Nick had wanted to hang out with me, so I told Nick that we could hang out, and Adrian told me to do Alvarado Park because there wasn't cameras there. He said that he drove around. And so we went to Alvarado Park, and that's when Adrian told me to keep the doors unlocked because he said the first time I did it wrong, that this time I needed to keep the doors unlocked and to ask him if he has guns or jewelry. And so I did. I asked him if he had any guns, and he had already had the doors unlocked, so I asked him if he had any guns. And he said that he had a Draco in the trunk, so I texted Adrian, I said Draco in the trunk. And then that's when I went to get out of the car, and Adrian and Santos and Josiah ran up to the car, and they just started screaming, and so then I ran and I...
So, I'm sorry, Adrian, who?
Santos and Josiah.
Okay, so Adrian, Santos, and Josiah, they're the ones that go...
They were the ones that did it.
Okay.
And then Josiah told me to get into the car that I think they had taken from Richie. He told me to get into that car. And so then I got into the car, and I called my friend, and I told her that I was really scared. And then that's when Josiah got into the car, and I was like, where are we going? And I seen Adrian and Santos get into the car with Nick, the red car. And I told him where we were going, and he said that we're going to Nick's house, that Nick said that he had a gun and money. What's going on, brother? And Adrian said that Nick was supposed to go inside and get money and a gun for them, $1,000 and a gun or something. And then he told Josiah to pull in front of him and be ready to go just in case. And so then I was like, no guys, please just take me home or let me get out right here. And then Josiah kept telling me no. And that's when I heard Josiah when their gun goes, lay down flat, because I didn't know what to expect. I was really scared. And then all I heard was screaming. And then I heard 2 or 3 gunshots from behind us, and then Josiah reached out and then shot 3 times.
So what seat is Josiah sitting in? And you said Josiah's driving Richie's car, is that right?
Yeah, he's sitting in the driver's seat.
He's in the driver's seat, okay. And where are you at in Richie's car?
I was at first in the front seat, and then when they said that somebody was looking out the window, I laid down in the back seat.
Okay. And then where is Adrian in Nick's car?
He's driving.
He's driving. Okay. And then where is Santos in Nick's car?
In the back seat.
In the back seat. Okay. What happens after you lay down?
after I laid down, I just heard, it wasn't Adrian screaming, I think it was the brother screaming. I heard yelling, and then I just heard 2 or 3 gunshots, and then that's when Josiah put the car in drive and then reached out and started shooting. And then I started yelling at him and asked him to stop, but he just told me to shut up.
Okay.
Annabella's account now mirrors Nicholas's, matching the timing, location, and sequence of the shooting. Investigators, once focused on Nicholas, see her version reinforcing key elements of his. Scrutiny shifts to Annabella as the aligned accounts converge on the immediate aftermath, recognized as pivotal in the chain of events.
He drove off through bridge, and then he sped to Adrian's. Well, he grabbed my phone because he needed to call Adrian's brother because his speaker didn't work. So he grabbed my phone and tried to call Adrian's brother. And then they weren't answering, and then that's when we went to Adrian's brother's house, and Adrian's brother, Josiah walked into the house and was like, I don't know what happened, I think Adrian got shot. And then the brother was like, I told you guys not to make her do it tonight. I had a bad feeling, I was praying all night. And so then his brother got up and they made me go with them to pick Adrian up.
Do you know, did he bury the guns at one of those houses?
I think he buried them, but at the same time, I think his uncle sold them for him because the next day, whenever he was going to be able to take me home, his uncle called his brother, and his brother said that his uncle had $5,000 for him, and that's what they went to Las Vegas with.
In the aftermath of the shooting, investigators hear claims that witnesses were pressured to stay silent. According to her, the threats were serious enough to leave her feeling she had no choice. As detectives dig deeper into the names mentioned in her statement, they begin uncovering connections which made it even more twisted.
So I'm gonna go through a couple things with you real quick. So Santos. Describe Santos for me.
He's Mexican, he's short, and he has like straight hair that goes like right there.
Do you know Santos's real name?
I don't. Might be Santiago, but I don't know the last name.
Okay. And then Josiah. Describe Josiah to me.
He's tall and he's really white, and I believe he has colored eyes. I think they're blue, I'm not too sure.
Okay. And do you know Josiah's last name?
I don't.
You don't. Okay. Do you know what Josiah goes by?
I think it's G Solid.
How long did you and Adrian date?
I think 4 months.
4 months. Okay. All right. Can you tell me who that is?
Okay.
That's Adrian. What? Yes, please. What else do you know Adrian by?
Baby Waffle.
Baby Waffle? Okay.
The focus turns first to Santos, then to Josiah, as investigators work to clarify physical descriptions and possible aliases. The questioning now centers on background information aimed at firmly establishing Adrian's identity within the broader network she describes.
That you guys go back to the 2609 phone and tell Wapo's brother, or Baby Wapo's brother,
Is that
Adrian's
the
brother.
address 2609?
Yes,
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
to the John Street address. I
Yeah.
apologize. There's San Jose. But you guys go back to San Jose and tell Andres that you don't know what happened to Adrian.
Yes.
Okay. And then he goes and picks up Adrian from an area. Did you go with them
Yes, I
during
did.
that time? Okay.
Josiah made me go with them.
Okay,
Because
and
my phone's the only phone that they have.
was it in the car that Josiah was driving?
It was in Andres's girlfriend, some type of car that he had over that night. He just took her car.
Okay.
It was, I can't remember, he had a car seat in it, but I don't remember
Okay.
what it looked like.
All right. And then Andres then comes back with Adrian and bleaches the guns, and
Yes.
and you said pine salts the guns, is that
Yeah,
right?
he used bleach and pine salt and I think Fabiloso. He just poured off into stuff in the bathtub.
Okay, and then they scrub them down, and then they were, you said, and I'm just clarifying, so if I get something wrong, please let me know. So we know Adrian driving, we know Santos, who we identified on the phone. We know Andre is the one that threatens to kill you if you say anything. We know that Damien is kind of the preface to all of what occurred. And then we know that Josiah is the one that's driving.
Yes.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but during the carjacking that occurs with Richard, where they take his car, all three, other than Andre, Josiah, Adrian, Avila, and then also Santos are the three that were there that were committing these carjacking.
Investigators enter the final phase, tightening the timeline and cross-checking Annabella's account. Each confirmation stitches events into a single framework as questioning narrows to motive, probing the structure behind the group's alleged strategy.
The other question is, you had said that they then started kind of picking on Serenity. Why to do these robberies? Why were they going to have Serenity do these robberies?
They kind of just, it's because Serenity, she's a really pretty girl, so she gets a lot of attention from guys, so they don't like that they want to be robbed.
Gotcha.
So they just kind of like have girls that they could care less about do stuff like this, because if it does come down to somebody getting hurt, then the girls get the pressure and they don't.
As investigators piece together Annabella's account, a structure begins to emerge. Targets aren't chosen at random. They're selected through vulnerability and control maintained through subtle pressure and access. And by the time anyone realizes what's happening, it's already too late. With her testimony and over a year of evidence, the case aligns, linking Annabella, Adrian, and others to a coordinated act of premeditated homicide. With the full framework in place, the investigation reaches its climax, leading to one inevitable outcome. On December 27, 2021, Adrian Avila, identified as the shooter in Elias Otero's murder, surrenders to Albuquerque police. His co-defendant, Annabella Dukes, is arrested weeks later on January 24, 2022. Adrian Avila later pleads guilty and is sentenced on April 16, 2024 to 29 years in prison for first-degree murder and kidnapping, as well as for the 2020 murder of Donnie Brandon. Josiah Opadaka is later sentenced to 10 years for his involvement in an earlier assault connected to the case. Annabelle Dukes accepts a plea deal, and on May 3, 2024, she is sentenced to 27 years for 2 counts of armed robbery tied to the robbery turned homicide.